What is good, YouTube? Quinn Wade, basketball analysis coming to y'all with a quick video. We're going to do something new and fun as it's not as much content so far on the weekend. So I'm going to do predicting what the divisions are going to look like for every single division. And today, obviously, we're going to start off with the Atlantic. I'm going to start off with what I think is going to be the worst team and work my way all the way up to what I think is going to be the number one team in each and every division. And we're going to start off with the Atlantic. Now, this is fun because a lot of these teams we have the unknown, which makes it fun to predict because injuries, trades, and things changes how teams are and how they will finish. But I think this is something that we all enjoy. Y'all usually love and enjoy the prediction video. So I give y'all a prediction in the top five video on top of that. And this is what y'all love to see. So let's have fun with it. Number five, the New York Knicks. This is something that wasn't difficult. It wasn't hard to think about it. But one thing I do like about the Knicks, if you had to take something away from their season, is they're letting a lot of their guys play. I like the fact that Mitchell Robinson is getting the minutes. I like the fact that, Barrett gets more touches and get a chance to really feel and grow his game through the growing pains, but also through experience. Without having to worry about so many veterans breathing down his neck and taking shots away from him. This is your future. If the Knicks want to trade for a superstar, they have to show the assets. I feel like the last couple of years, a lot of these guys didn't look good. They didn't play well. And even last year, they didn't play really at all. And if you're going to try to do what the Lakers did and trade a bunch of good quality players, you have to show that they can play and they actually can contribute and actually have talent. And that's something that I think the Knicks kept overlooking the last couple years. And even if they're bad, look at it like this: you still get a top lottery pick, and you can build upon the foundation of Barrett and Mitchell Robertson and other guys. Now, the thing about the Knicks is I don't expect them to win a lot of games because they are young. They don't really have a closer. They don't really have a good point guard. And obviously, their defense is going to be terrible because they are young and they're still learning for that. But the best part about the Knicks, you get to see what you have. You get to see them grow and develop and possibly even become good players in the league. And this is a good year to find out what you actually have and what you actually should be building around, as a lot of these guys' contracts are coming up and they got to figure out, do they want to keep them? Do they want to let them go? Or if they're going to try to get something for them? And if you want to know that, let's see what they can do, given a 72 game season. So that's the bright spot and the best way to look at it as a Knicks fan, but also as a guy that's running the Knicks. And if you want to be able to trade for somebody good, you have to have something to offer. And I feel like they didn't have that. And now we get a chance to see if they do. If not, they still get a lottery pick. Number four, the Sixers. I'm still lower on the Sixers than other people. I feel like a lot of people talked themselves into and bought into the hype with the Al Horford and Josh Richardson thing. You had guys that was defensive minded, guys that can really play well off other guys and do small things that make them good individually. And it just didn't work. It blew up in their face, and people thought that they were stuck because of the fact that those contracts were so huge and no team will want them. But like we always say, no contract is untradeable, and they was able to get off to Josh Richardson, who wasn't a good fit because he wasn't a great shooter, a great playmaker, or a great scorer to the level that they needed him to be, and they replaced him with something that they actually needed, which was shooting, and a guy that can do a little bit more than that in Seth Curry. Plus, you're not really paying him that much money, and he was above average three-point shooter on top of that, and that's something that they really did need. And you add on the fact that they still have Tobias Harris, who had his best season with Doc Rivers as his coach, and they get to be back there. And remember, Doc Rivers does have some of the best defenders, like Kevin Garnett and guys like DeAndre Jordan, reach their peak with Doc Rivers also as their coach. And I can see him doing that for Embiid, and Embiid got off to a decent start so far. And we'll see if he will be able to stay healthy and continue that. And you still got Ben Simmons, who is an All NBA and an All NBA defender who has really upped his game in other areas that people didn't think he could, because he was not known as a great defender in high school and in college, and he was able to turn himself into one. And he still is one of the best well-rounded players when it comes to all overall game. But until they become dominant and elite level players, I think the Sixers are just going to be a decent team. That doesn't mean they're going to be at the bottom of the East. I just think it's going to make them in the middle. And if that's the case, I don't really see them being a top 4 seed in my personal opinion with the roster currently constructed. Number 3, I got Toronto. I'm lower on Toronto. I think they're just right there with Philly. Only thing that I like more about Toronto is that they have guys that know how to win, guys that's willing to sacrifice, and guys that have been together for a while with a coach that isn't afraid to try things, isn't afraid to mix things up, and isn't afraid of allowing players to grow their game and actually encourage them to do it, and isn't afraid to rely on them to do new things. And that's why you see Siakam develop into what he has become. OG has got his contract, but he also have a bigger role than he did last year because he was injured a lot. And you got guys like Van Fleet that secured the bag and also had one of his best seasons, if not the best one. Even though he did struggle in the playoffs in the bubble, he still is a guy that you rather keep than lose, especially for nothing as he was a free agent. And they was able to do that. Their chemistry, their defense, their coaching, and hopefully the development of their other guys have me having them a little bit over Philly. Not by much, but I still think that they should be able to finish above Philly. Number 2, I have Brooklyn. Brooklyn looks amazing to a lot of people so far this season, as they have 2 of the most unstoppable players in the world when healthy, which both of them have been dealing with major to nagging injuries throughout their career, and they're going to be relied on to do much as they're the best players on this team, and they paid a lot of money and invested a lot of their cash into this duo, and they're going to be having a burden. A lot of people look at this team as a team that can come out the East. A lot of people look at this team as a team that's dangerous because of their duo. And it is no reason not to doubt that because you look at Kyrie can score in the paint, free throw, hit floaters, mid range, pull ups, and even threes from anywhere on the court. And you think about it, wait, Kevin Durant can do that too. And that makes them a tough duo to guard because you can't guard them one on one because they can get their shot off from anywhere on the court anytime they want to. And they can play with defenders. And when you have guys that can do that, with the supporting cast that actually fit with what they're trying to do, whether it's guys that can break guys off the dribble, create a little bit, or even just be like a Joe Harris and a Landry Shamet and just catch and shoot and come off screens and keep the defense honest. It gives you a good idea that the Nets can be a dangerous team if they can lock in and become a decent to above average defensive team as a unit. They don't have great individual defenders, but if they communicate and defend the way they're supposed to defend by just having effort and energy, they can be respectable. And if their offense is as potent as they look so far, they can close games, steal games, and blow out teams. It's going to be a tough team to beat when they're clicking on all cylinders. So I have Brooklyn finishing second in this division. And of course, number 1, that got to the Eastern Conference Finals last year and gave the Miami Heat a scare, being in the close ability to almost go to a Game 7, will be my Boston Celtics. I think that they competed very well against the Nets, and they didn't have Kemba, and they actually was winning the first and the second quarter, and then they just couldn't make a shot, even if it was open or even free throws, and that was the demise of that game. But we still showed that we have 2 of the better perimeter defenders with Marcus Smart and Jaylen Brown, and then you add Tatum in that. And then you add the fact that chemistry will be built. We are one of the tougher teams to score against when we're competing and healthy. And once we get our 20-point scorer back in Kemba, our bench becomes a lot better because we wouldn't have to start people that we normally would have to start, and that will get everything back going in motion. Just like the Nets, you have injury concerns to certain guys on this team, but when healthy, they're a better two-way team, and they have just a good enough offense with Brad Stevens tinkering things as he usually does, and Danny Ainge having a trade exception to be able to make another move to make this roster even a little bit better in the future. I think the Celtics will end with the top of this division, and I don't really see a team beating them this year. With that, as I thought Toronto lost a little bit too much talent, the Sixers not having enough, the Knicks just being bad, and obviously the Nets having time to gel. And then we don't really know what they're going to do either in the future with the roster. I think the Celtics are probably the better, well-rounded team and probably the best defensive team outside of the Raptors in this group. So you look at a team that can score, got guys that can create, got guys that can take over in the clutch, like we've seen what Tatum did against Giannis and what he did in the second quarter against the Nets. That's powerful to have that type of shot creation ability, breakdown ability, and also being able to defend players on the perimeter. Not too many teams have that, and the Celtics have all of that. Plus, they have a chance to continue to grow and develop as the season go on, and I will have them finishing number one in this division. If you want to see the other ones, obviously you should want to subscribe. Also, I have over 2,000 videos. I upload videos each and every day. So if you like this video, you should subscribe and become part of the family and join the channel. Also, like and share. That's another way to help the channel grow if you don't want to buy merchandise. But if you do want to buy merchandise and support the channel that way, I have my Facebook page. You can change the color of the hat, change the color of the logo of the shirt, and also the hat, and customize them the way you want it to be. Message me and I can get it shipped out. So you can also buy merchandise exclusively on my Spreadshirt, where it will also be in the description in the comment section below. And also feel free to comment. Let me know what you agree with or you disagree with. I love seeing what you guys think, and I appreciate y'all for doing that too. Not only that, like I said, over 2,000 videos. So if you like this, you want to see more, I offer videos every single day, whether it's the content of breakdowns of players, legends, rookies, even summer league coverage, summer league breakdowns, draft coverage, free agency, top 10 lists, discussions just like this, even about the hottest topics, and also season previews. I offer all of that for free, as all you have to do is watch the videos and support it in your own way. Other than that, thanks for the love, thanks for the support, thanks for supporting the video. Hopefully you guys enjoy y'all Saturday. I'll be back with another video Sunday, and I'm